My name's Craig Bradshaw. I'm the director of the Center for Integrated Building Systems, and I'm also an assistant professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering at Oklahoma State University. I grew up in Indiana and was very interested in ways to get involved in energy systems. So one of the best ways I saw to do that was to go to graduate school. Got my PhD at Purdue and then spent 4 years working at a startup company in Atlanta, and then transitioned to my faculty path at Oklahoma State 4 years ago. The Center for Integrated Building Systems is focused on how to make better buildings, and specifically how to make better equipment that integrates directly with the buildings. The building of tomorrow is going to be designed very different than one designed decades ago. It has to account for things like how are the occupants going to use the space, how does the equipment most efficiently use the energy, and how does it integrate with the environment and the grid really efficiently. Our expertise here at OSU allows us to kind of combine a lot of different resources. So we have a lot of faculty that are experts in component and equipment systems and ground source heat pump systems. So the center allows us to bring all those resources together and interact with the industry to find solutions that allow us to break down the silos and build better buildings in the future. The center was just started this year. We have 7 industrial partners, and there were 11 faculty who pitched ideas into the center. And one of the major thrusts is ground source technology. Ground source heat pumps, or geothermal technology, is a way to use the more consistent ground temperatures to heat and cool buildings. What I have behind me is what's called a ground source heat pump system. It's actually heating the room that we're standing in right now. It's taking air from the room, heating it up through a heat exchanger coil inside this box using what's called a vapor compression cycle. The other side of that vapor compression cycle, where some of that heat is coming from, is from the ground, which is why it's called ground source heat pump. There's a separate heat exchanger that's extracting heat from the ground through what are called boreholes. The boreholes are very deep holes into the ground where the temperature is very consistent throughout the year. So in the wintertime, like now, it's much warmer underground than the air is outside today. So you can pull heat into these boreholes and transfer it into this vapor compression cycle. You can see the boreholes coming out of the ground here. This system was designed to be integrated into the classroom so our students can see what a ground source heat pump looks like. The way a ground source system is more efficient than, say, an air source system is it takes advantage of that very consistent ground temperature. So in the wintertime, it's much warmer than the air is typically, and in the summertime, it's much cooler than the air is typically. So the temperature differences that a heat pump or air conditioner has to operate between is directly proportional to how much energy it's going to use. The larger that temperature difference, the more energy it needs. So if that temperature can be more consistent, the less energy you will use. A ground source system takes advantage of that. We are very unique here at OSU with CIBS because we've required every faculty member to engage with undergraduates on every single research project. So every research project will have some graduate student working on it, maybe more than one, but then they also have to have some undergraduates. The faculty can supervise that. It helps get the students engaged in HVAC and geothermal technologies, and it supports our research center initiative. So we feel like everybody's winning. Our industrial partners get more exposure to more students and more potential talent. We get good educational tools out of it, and the world benefits. When I was looking for faculty positions, I just have to be totally transparent. Oklahoma's not high on my list of places to want to move. I went into the interview process with an open mind and thinking, okay, this is, I'm not sure what I'm getting into. My expectation was, cowboys and tumbleweed and things. And you get off the plane and I come to Stillwater, and I couldn't have felt more at home here at Stillwater. And I was absolutely blown away by the facilities and how great the people were here. Oklahoma's defined CIBS with that homegrown attitude. We understand what our strengths are, and we understand who our friends are, and we're going to build something fresh and new that's hopefully going to have a big impact. on not only the state of Oklahoma, but we hope the country. I'll call it the cowboy spirit at OSU, that's embodied here at Oklahoma State, which I think is a reflection of the state as a whole.